pressing ride of it, got past Ramtin Musa of England 3-2 on a split in the quarter-final. He needed to get judges' decision with 3 scores of 28-28 at the end of the fight to squeeze through there. And then against Moreno Fendero of France, he did win by 4 cards to 0, but a cut opened up after 70 seconds, and that was a couple of days ago, so I think that could possibly be an issue for him. We're just watching him shadow box a little bit as he comes into the ring, just straining to get a look at that eye, and there's been some running repairs. Of course, he has had about 48 hours for that to heal up. All fighters coming to the ring have got a decent sweat on, such are the conditions here. It's a good conditions actually for boxers, sapping under those lights, but very easy to get loose and stay loose. He's actually boxed as a professional, Voronov, 3-0 in the Belgrade tournament in April this year. But Schumann, Kevin Schumann, as I said, he's really grown into this tournament, and he has dispatched a lot of seeds. The Serbian number 3 seed, Almir Memic, in his second fight, Armenia's number 6 seed, Vaktan Harutyunyan, and then the Ukrainian number 2 seed, Bogdan Tolmachov, on a split decision in the semi-final. I felt he deserved to get that one, and he kicked things off with a very tight fight in the opening round against Anton Embulayev, and his fitness levels all the way through have looked very, very good, and he can do a bit of everything. He can keep it a little bit longer, try and box it on the outside, but when he's needed to step in, hold his feet and give it back to his opponent, he's been able to do that. So I'm looking forward to this one. I just wonder whether we might get a big performance from Voronov in his final, because he hasn't really shown us one in the competition up until this point. So called to the centre of the ring. Voronov of Russia in red, Schumann of Germany in blue. Voronov the number 1 seed, Schumann unseeded. So here we go. Bell goes at the start of round 1. Voronov immediately just tries to steal himself a jab to the body. He's physically the bigger of the two, you would say, the Russian, as you look at them up there in centre ring. Right to the body there from Schumann, but then a lead left hand just bounces off the German's forehead. That was a nice jab from Voronov, who's got good fundamentals, nice solid basics. Referee just having a quick chat with Voronov there about pushing off with his forearm. Schumann trying to let fly with a left hook a couple of times there, doesn't manage to land it. Mostly they've traded jabs to the body so far. Snaps that jab up from the waist, Schumann. He disguises that jab quite well. Often it looks like it's going to head for the body, then goes up to the waist. Nice left hand there from Voronov. That checked the chin of Schumann. Voronov just led off with a kind of leaping left uppercut. It was a bizarre shot. He missed it by an absolute mile. That was a nice, crisp jab there from Schumann. There's not much to pick between these two. They look pretty well matched. No one's really managed to land a backhand yet. All the scoring has been done pretty much with that lead hand. Right on cue there, a jab just shoved into the face of Schumann from Voronov midway through the round. Voronov just trying to back Schumann up. Schumann falling short with the right hand. Voronov unable to make him pay and looking to just try and bump him back into the ropes there. Plenty of leather being thrown by both of those two in that exchange, but as I say, not a great deal got through. They're both showing good defence up close, slipping and rolling, making it difficult for the other to find him. I think that cut might have opened up again above the left eye there of Voronov, just slightly. He's done well, to be honest, to get this far into the fight without it splitting again. And there's some blood from it, and the doctor might have a look at that fairly shortly, and indeed that is going to be the case. When this happened 70 seconds into his semi-final, they had a long look at it, and when he came out after that, you could tell that he was thinking that it might not last too much longer. It's from a clash of heads, but he knew that there was a chance it might go to the cards, and he had to try and make sure that he was ahead if that happened. It's pretty ugly when you see it. We've got a pretty good view of it there as well, actually, from ringside. Well, both fighters there just having a little bit of a look at the referee. Schumann, you'd be well advised just to get on with things there rather than trying to do the referee's job for him. A little bit messy on the inside, arms being trapped by both fighters there. They were at it, the pair of them. Voronov just backing up, looks to try and come in and throw that right hand, just cuts down his own space. He does tend to do that. He looks nicely balanced and set up, Voronov, but then just got caught by a lovely left hand there from Schumann, who landed a good stiff right hand right at the end of the round as well. And who knows, those couple of punches might be enough to nick it, because there wasn't much in that.
Indeed, it was a beautiful check left hand landed at the closing stages, but there's a chopping right hand on a downward trajectory and then a left hook on the inside. So overall, perhaps the better work coming from the man in red, but make no mistake, Schumann in the contest through 3 completed minutes, but that is a significant eye injury that Voronov is trying to protect. And Voronov, well, it's been a physical tournament for him so far, and with a sharp punch picker as we see the scorecards, Voronov taking it 10-9 for all of the judges. But a sharp puncher like Schumann, that's going to present a target that he may well look to land slashing punches on to increase the damage further.
That's exactly what he'll be looking to try and do. So Voronov with that lead, getting that first round with all 5 of the judges. He did the stronger work in the kind of mid portion of that round. Schumann with a good finish there right at the end, but that not enough in the eyes of the judges at ringside to make an impact on the scoring. Voronov throws that jab, looks for the uppercut, well short with the uppercut. Looking for that left hand there, Voronov. Schumann was well able just to drop his knees there and slide underneath it. Decent jab there from the German. I think he needs to really try and just up the tempo a bit here, Schumann. He is quite a languid, fluid fighter. There's plenty of energy there from him. Languid's probably not quite the right word, to be honest. He's got a nice rhythm, and once he gets into that rhythm, I haven't really seen him yet click through the gears particularly. I think he does probably need to do that. I saw Rantim Musa in the 3rd round of his fight with Voronov really get on top of him, to the point where Voronov, for the first minute of the final round there, almost didn't really look like he was that interested. And I think Schumann has got to do something to try and put Voronov under some real serious pressure here, because he's taken that opening round, and the second round is proving to be fairly similar to the first at this kind of stage. Voronov just shrugging Schumann off. And I think when it comes to physical strength, I think the Russian has maybe got the edge here on the German fighter. Just feinting with the front foot there, Voronov. He pulled his weight back really nicely there. The right hand came in from Schumann. We were absolutely side on to that, and he just pulled back, and it missed him by a matter of millimetres into the final minute of round 2. Looking for a bit arcing overhand right there, Voronov, and then trying the uppercut on the inside. And then just walk Schumann back to the ropes, just imposing a bit of physicality here. Schumann doesn't like that very much. He wants the referee to get involved, but Voronov just manoeuvring him around and looking for that big uppercut. Got his feet a little bit closer that time. It stood a better chance of landing, but still didn't quite get there. He's managed to protect that cut well in his second round as well, Voronov. And you just get the feeling that this fight is slipping away from Schumann, having dropped that first round. The right hand there from Voronov, who wears a left there from Schumann. Final few seconds of round 2. And this is kind of clever stuff, really, from the Russian. It's the mark of an experienced man, really, isn't it? Because he didn't really do much in that round. But when you look at the overall look and feel of it, he's probably won it. Yep,
I would agree with that. And he spent a lot of time engaging in clinches, pushing the man, tying Schumann up, using his experience, just so that the clock continued to tick and he kept his head out of harm's way. I have to think that Voronov has taken the second round, and you mentioned his experience. And well, you mentioned his contest against Ramtin Musa. He's also got, as we see, a clean sweep across the cards for the second time for Schumann. Had that hard-fought win over Ramtin Musa. Got a victory over Lewis Richardson at the Belgrade tournament earlier this year. And he has spent time in the professional ranks, but come back to 3 threes since September 2020. So that win over Lewis Richardson, who attempted to get to Tokyo, maybe Ramtin Musa will take confidence from how well he performed against Schumann here in Roseto.
So into the third and final round. Voronov of Russia in red. He's 2 rounds to the good with all 5 of the judges. Kevin Schumann of Germany, who's had a fantastic tournament. This is his 5th fight. He's knocked out 3 seeds along the way, unseeded himself, and he's got to really put his foot to the floor and go for it in this final round, and that's what he's trying to do at the moment. He almost walked straight onto a massive uppercut there from Voronov, who has tailored that one a few times and hasn't quite managed to find the fit for it just yet. 30 seconds into round 3. I'm looking for that jab to the body again there. Right hand on the inside there from Voronov. What he's really good at is just on the borderline of range, pulling his weight back and making his opponent fall fractionally short, and then looking to come back with a counter. He hasn't really caught Schumann too many times flush with those counter punches, but it's a real ability he's got. He's got really nice balance, the weight right in the middle of his feet, and that is what really allows him to just have such control of his head, as he just leans in with it a bit sometimes, other times just pulls it back out of the way. Looking for that uppercut again off the back of the 1-2. German team sitting behind us, just trying to get behind Schumann, who manages to get a couple of punches in there. Voronov was trying to tie up his right glove, and so Schumann responded by working with his left just past the midway point of the round. Committing to a jab there, Schumann. Nice body work there from Voronov. Goes up top with the left hand. Doesn't quite manage to land it. A pro boxing phrase springs to mind here. Schumann has been to an extent old man here by Voronov, and what we mean by that is you've got a fighter with more experience than the other, and that's certainly the case with Voronov. They just use that to negate their opponent, to dull that edge that they're looking to try and get with their own attacks, kill the clock a little bit. And just as he is here, just wrestling in the corner, there's nothing really wrong with this. The referee can't come in and take a point off him there, but he just bundles him into the rope, turns him, gets back to the centre of the ring, sets up his own attack. He's not been a blistering display, this from Nikita Voronov, but 2 points up on all 5 cards going into the final round. He's going to win this fight and pick up a gold medal in the European Under-22s, as well as $8,000 in prize money. So it's been a very good few days for him. Schumann, I think, will learn a lot from this kind of fight, because it may well be the sort of encounter he comes away from feeling like he could maybe have done a bit more, but Voronov in reality didn't allow that, and Voronov with a good volley of punches right at the end of the round there. A little bit of damage maybe underneath that right eye, or it could be a touch of transfer of blood, but he's won that fight there, Nikita Voronov, and he's a little bit battle scarred, a little bit battle weary, but he's managed to navigate his way through.
Yeah, he did it very effectively indeed against an incredibly game-committed opponent who never stopped going for the victory. 5th bout of the tournament for Kevin Schumann, nowhere near the level of international experience as his opponent, and he never stopped going for it, but it will be the man in red who's declared the victor.
The winner is red corner, Nikita Voronov.
Clean sweeps, 3 rounds, 10-9 every time with all 5 judges, so 30 points to 27. Schumann was in that fight though. He's got nothing to reproach himself for. As Ron says, that's his 5th fight in 7 or 8 days. He's knocked out 3 seeds, and in the end he's come up short against the #1 seed, so he will grow enormously from the experience he's gathered over the last few days. In the case of Voronov, he had some tight squeezes, had a little bit of luck on the cards in an earlier fight, I would say, but he picked up that bad cut, and he's he's used that experience and he's kind of dogged it out to get that gold medal. So well done to him. He's just walking down those ringside steps a few yards away from us here, and that is a 6th gold medal in the bag for Russia.
8. Representing the referee from Italy, Mr. Luca Badinone.
Next up, we've got the men's light heavyweights. Another